So I've had a intense couple of hours. In the last 24 hours, I've made some realizations about my life and the patterns that have played out, in particular with group dynamics, and how I can go into like this self-righteous, meek state where I destroy and burn bridges. And I grieve that. I've done that quite a lot in my life, where I will destroy relationships based on some kind of self-righteous point of view. I've realised that there's more constructive ways and more humble ways in order to get my point across and facilitate change. And then sometimes you just can't change things, and all you need to worry about is yourself. The next thing is a work colleague. His wife has been diagnosed with terminal cancer, and this man, when I was struggling with my issues, he really put himself on the line, and he said to me that he'd help me, and he really meant it. Like, his whole being was in it. Like, he was going to be there for me. And I just found out today, I got a phone call and I had a great conversation with another ex-colleague, and it devastated me. It really just knocked the wind out of me. Like, was not expecting it, and it crystallized to me just how important it is for us to tell our stories, because we don't know just how much it will affect somebody else, but it's exactly what they need to hear. I think there's telling a story out of retaliation, out of self-righteousness, and you can also tell a story out of humbleness and courage. And I think that the humbleness and courage dynamic is really important if you're going to tell a story, because without it, you lose a lot of emotional context. And it's that context that really connects with people and really helps them to understand where you're coming from. I just like to share that. In the last week, it's been interesting. The last 24 hours, I've felt these glorious highs of elation and these devastating lows. And I think it's important to take note that with the highs, there will be lows, and they're just as important as each other. So I think we have this mantra today that feeling sad, oh, why are you feeling sad? You shouldn't feel sad. I think it does a disservice to the full range of your emotions. I think just creating space for someone, allowing them to feel whatever they're feeling, just hold them. I think is enough. When they're feeling sad, just hold them, just let them know. And then when they're ready, you can go into stories and how that might make them feel. But otherwise, the priority is just to hold space, just allow them to feel whatever they're feeling, because just to utter those first words of an emotion they haven't felt in a long time, or an event that brings up really unpleasant feelings for them, takes great courage. And it can be so thin, so thinly veiled, whatever they say, that if you're not present, if you're not holding a space for them, it can just disappear, it can just bounce off you. So this is an ode to being vulnerable and speaking your truth and being courageous in a crucible of humility. Like, if you can if you can hold your courage in that bowl of humility, that crucible of humility, I think you're a very wise and tender person, and I think you would make a great leader and a great listener, and you'll bring a lot of solace and clarity into people's lives. And part of me feels like that is what we are here for. And that is my ramblings for today. Cheers.